Hello and welcome to Unreal Made Easy, and in today's video we're gonna start out with three things. The first is we're gonna build some custom characters. We're gonna create this custom menu widget, and then finally we're gonna be able to click in and then play it on our custom level and make it fully functional. So let's not waste any time and let's begin. Okay, to start out with, we're going to open up a fresh third-person project. We're going to add two characters. The first one's going to be this adventure character, and then the other one I'm going to add is this adventure female. Okay, once you're in your third-person project, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the content drawer. We're going to go to the third-person folder. We're going to go to the blueprint, and we're going to add our characters. The way we're going to do this is we're just going to use the same blueprint. We're going to make 4 characters. So we're going to do Control D and enter. Control D, enter. Okay, now once you have your characters, we're going to go ahead and rename them, and this can simply be done by highlighting the particular one and hitting F2. First one is going to be, we're going to call this one Adam. Enter. Character number 2. And BP just stands for blueprint. Call her Eve for the second one. Third character. We're going to make this another male. Call this one Chad. And then finally we're going to do, let's see, do this again here. We'll call this one Karen. Okay. Continuing on with this, we're going to take the Adam. We're going to highlight the Eve and the Chad. No, not the Eve. We're going to highlight the Karen. We're going to leave Eve as the default. And we're going to select right click and we're going to select edit. And this will open up all the tabs in the top. All right. So we can go to we're going to start with the first tab here, which is going to be Adam. And all we're going to do is we're going to click this browse button. And instead of it being the Quinn model, we're going to use the Manny model. So highlight that, minimize, and then use this arrow to select it. Here, let me open up the viewport so you can see the change. There. Now we have the male model for that. Compile, save, and we can close Adam out. All right. For the Karen model, we're going to go back to the viewport, content folder, and then we're going to go into the adventure folder, adventure woman folder, go to meshes, adventure woman. We're going to use the UE5 mesh because that's the actual animation blueprint. Go to full, and we're going to select this one here. Make sure it says cut skeletal mesh. Highlight it, close that, and then select this button, and that'll change this character. We're going to compile, save, and we can close Karen out. Yeah. Okay, so Karen's closed. We're going to open up Chad, go to his viewport. We're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to go back to the content folder, go to the man folder, go to meshes, do the full mesh, and make sure you don't want to grab the physic asset as you can see right here. You want to only grab the skeletal mesh. So I'm going to use the one with the shirt here, number 3. Highlight that, minimize, go to the mesh, skeletal mesh, same thing. Compile, save, and we can close that out. Next, we're going to need, we're going to go back to the content folder. We're going to go back into the third person folder, blueprints again, and we're going to create a game instance folder. our game instance blueprint. So we're going to right click, select blueprints, go to blueprint class, and then if this is closed, you can just open it up to all classes. And we're going to select the game instance. Okay, game instance blueprint. So right here where it says platform game instance, we're going to select that. And we're going to name this let's go my number 1, so 01 underscore, and we can capitalize that, game instance, enter. Okay. So what I also want to do is here, I want to just go ahead and change my editor preference settings under edit. And instead of it opening into the default location, I just want to open it up into the main window. So that way we get multiple tabs, so we don't have to keep moving tabs around. Save. Oh, and while we're here, let's go ahead and select all and save. Okay. Now, we're going to open up the My Instance Blueprint folder. I'm going to undock this. And we're going to add one variable. And the variable we're going to name it is character. Hit enter. And then for the variable type, we're going to want it to be a pawn, just a plain pawn by itself. And we're going to go not to object reference, but to class reference. And we're going to make it instant editable so we can see it in other blueprints. Compile, save. And that's all we need to do for this. Close this out. Okay, next, we're going to see, we can go back. Okay, we're going to need to create a new level. So go up to File, go to New Level, and we're going to pick a basic level, and we're going to create that. Okay, from here, on this basic level, okay, first thing we're going to go ahead and save it, so that way we can name it. And we're going to keep this particular one with the other one. So if we go back into the third person here, go into maps, we're going to save it here. And we're going to call this main menu and then level. And I'm just abbreviating level LVL, and hit save. Okay, go forward a little bit. And we're going to add our characters we just created into this level. So if we're starting from the content folder here, we go to the third person, go to the blueprints, and we've got all of our characters here. And we're going to select them all. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight this one. Let's see, we're going to hold down Shift and then left click that. And then see, we can get this like just kind of right here. And then we can left click and drag all these characters out here to that. Okay. Then from that point, we're going to rotate these characters, what we're going to do here. So we're going to see, we can select the rotate here. And we're going to face them toward us because they're all right here. Okay. So, and then from this point, we're going to click off of that. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to scroll into them. Oh, to slow it down, just use the mouse scroll backwards or forwards to adjust the speed. Okay, and then we're here. Now we're just going to we're going to move these characters side by side with each other. So, and we're going to have them pretty close, and this is going to be there's a reason for that. And you'll see that in a moment. So we're going to back out of this, grab the character, move them over just a little bit, click on it, grab another character, click them over a little bit, and we want them pretty close together. And grab the character, move them over just a little bit. There we go. Okay. We click on the ground, and we can see here we got our characters together, nice and close and even. And we're going to come back to this. Okay, so now that your level is made, we're going to go back into the content folder. We're going to right click and we're going to create a folder, new folder. We're going to call this UI. We're going to go into this folder. We're going to create a widget. So under user interface, we're going to go under widget blueprint, and we're just going to use the user widget, and we're going to name this WB underscore for widget blueprint, and we'll call this let's call it character selector. Character selector. Okay. Next, we're going to open this up, and we're going to start by creating several. We're going to create the actual UI. Okay, first we're going to have a canvas. So we're going to do canvas. Go to canvas panel, just left click, drag, and drop right onto the selector here. Next, we're going to need an image. Same thing, drag it, make sure it's on top of the canvas. And with this image, we're going to go ahead and make it full size. You can just drag it. You can drag it. It's fine. And then up here in the left corner here, we're going to go under anchor, and we're going to select the one that takes up the whole screen. And then for the brush, okay, let's see, for the appearance, we're going to add an image. We're going to use one of the ones that's default inside the engine here. Now you can look through all this, but I've looked at several, and I think it was a wood one I kind of liked. So yeah, and we don't want to pick a material. We want to pick a texture. So we got the walnut floor. We got the oak texture. I think I'm going to go with the oak texture. And it's not perfect. I mean, you can kind of see through it, but it's good for what we're doing now. Okay. Next, we're going to want to add a text. Oh, and remember to compile and save. Do a quick save all. Very important. So we're going to grab a text, just drag, and we're going to drop it right here in the middle. Okay. We're going to resize it a bit. Okay. Move it around. And for the text, we're going to call this character selector. And then, see, under the font, which is right here, we're going to change the size. Probably maybe 70 might work. Yeah, 70 could work. And we're just going to make sure everything fits in the box nice and even. Okay. And then, let's see, as we go down here, we're going to spruce up this a little bit. We're going to go to outline settings. And we're going to make the outline, I think 5 might be good. Yeah, there we go. I mean, you could also go 3, but yeah, I think, well, I guess I could go, I'm going to go 5, just make it stand out a little bit. And now we have the text there. And we're going to leave the outline black. So that's going to be our title for our text here, or for our widget. And for the anchor, this is very important because we don't want it to float around. We want it to use this middle one here, middle top. Okay. Next, we're going to need a horizontal compile and save. Okay. Next, we need a horizontal box. Grab that, drag and drop it right here in the middle. And this is going to be where we put our character buttons to have our characters. Just drag it out. And then that's it. Put that right in the middle. There we go. Okay. Now, within this horizontal box, we're going to need, let's see, go ahead and compile that. We're going to need a button. We're going to make several buttons. We're going to make a button for each character. So we're going to take this button, grab and drag, and put it inside this horizontal box. Okay. And then for the button, we're going to highlight that. And we're going to do it as a fill. And then we're going to play around with the style. Okay. So for the normal, the only thing we're going to do for the normal is we're going to change the tint to just white. Okay, select OK. And then we're going to minimize that. We're going to go to the hovered. So when your mouse hovers over it, we're going to go to the tint. And for the hover, it's going to be almost like, we're going to do like yellow. Okay, nice bright yellow. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Next, for the pressed, we're going to want to do tint. We're going to do a green for the tint. This is after it's been pressed, like so. And then hit OK. Yes. And then we can minimize that. So we get the white, yellow, and green. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this button, we're going to left click on it, and we're going to do a Control D. And that's just going to duplicate it. We're going to do this, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 5. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rename all these. So right here, we can just left click, and then right here at the top, we're going to call this the Atom button. Okay. Then for the next one, we're going to call this Eve button. For this final button, we're going to name it Quit button. For the Quit button, we're going to actually drag it out. Okay, so we're going to grab the Quit button, pull it out, put it right down here. Nice right here. And then right here, we're going to change the color because I don't want it to be white. We're going to make it just a soft gray, I guess. Hit OK. Make sure it is in the middle, lower middle. And then for the anchor, let me see. We're going to anchor it bottom, middle. And then we're going to select the horizontal box, and we're going to also make sure that we select the anchor for that as well. And that's just going to be in the middle here. Compile, save. Got to do another text. And that's going to be, we're going to take the text, we're going to drag and drop it right onto the Quit button. And then we're going to select the text. Let's see, we can change the color. We're going to make the color of this one, we're going to make it a black text. And then we can hit OK. For the size is pretty good. We're going to just bump it up just a little bit just to see how that looks. Maybe 36. That should be good. And then we're going to change the text to quit. Or quit game, however you like. And then now, okay, we've got the basics of what we need here. Go ahead, compile and save. And before we continue, we're going to go ahead and create some pictures for each of these, okay? And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use Paint, which is a free program in Microsoft. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to have to go back to our level, which is right here. Okay, and I guess we could we dock to sidebar for a second. Okay, and then we're gonna hit, let's see, yeah, we're gonna hit the G button, and once we have that, we've eliminated the background. And then next we're going to do a print screen, and we're just gonna capture the characters. Let's see, right there. And actually, I don't think I like that. Let me do it again. Print screen. We're going to grab a good amount of these characters right here. There we go. And then in our new Paint folder, we're going to do a Control V, paste. And then now let's hit the crop here. Now it's just a regular picture. And then we're going to do a save. And I'm going to save this to the desktop. I'm just going to say group. Let me see. I'm going to say cell group, or character cell group. So char cell group. Okay. I think I'm going to save it as a JPEG. And then I'm going to hit save. Now, from this point, we're just going to, there is an exact science to it, but we're just going to get the basics of it. So we're going to try to just grab each character's head like this. And we're going to do a crop. And then we're going to do a save as JPEG. And this one will be Karen. And then hit save. Then we're going to open that same picture back up. Go back to our desktop. Select that right there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab Adam. Or not Adam. We're going to call this one Chad. There we go. And like I said, you can do an exact science of it, but I'm just getting the basics for our buttons. Okay. Hit save as JPEG. We're going to call this Adam. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Chad. So we got Karen, Adam, Chad, and then we're going to do two more. Okay, once that's done, we're still in our UI folder. We're going to import from our desktop those pictures we just picked up, we just created. So we'll go to desktop, and we're going to select them. So we can hold down Control and left click each one we want. So we got Adam, Eve, Chad, and Karen. Hit open. Okay, import's done. Now what we can do is we can select our Adam one, highlight it, go to the character, go to the button, and then for this we're going to need to click on this right here, and that'll add that button. Now we're going to have to add this for each and every one. So so for the hovered, same thing, just open the hovered, do that again, pressed, same thing, and again, compile, save. Now we need to do that for the rest. And then compile and save. So we've got our characters, buttons. Now we're going to need to go into the event graph of this widget blueprint, which is the graph up here in the upper left. we're going to do some simple code here. Okay, to start this code, we're going to need to add all the buttons. So we're going to select the Atom button first. I'm going to undock the detail from the sidebar. And we're going to do all the unclick. Okay, the easy one here is the quit button. So we're going to drag off of here and simply type in quit and then use quit game. And that's all you need. That's the easy one. Drop this down just a little bit. Scroll out a bit. Now we're going to need to go ahead and put the code in for each of these. All right, remember, always compile and save. Okay. Now for the first one, first thing we're gonna have to add is the pawn. We're gonna have to cast a pawn class. So we're gonna do a cast to pawn class. Okay. And we're gonna do that for all of them. So we can do a Control C, and then just hit Control V next to each one. Okay, for everybody. Everybody gets one. Connect those nodes up. Okay, and then for the class, we're going to select the pawns. So we're going to do, let's see, BP. Okay, in this instance, we're going to do BP Atom. Let's see. We're going to do BP Atom. And then do the same for the rest. Now for each of these, we're going to go ahead and create a variable for them. Drag off and hit promote as variable. Make them nice and neat. And then for each of these, we want to name it as the character. So what we're going to do is we're just going to name it for the variable. So we're going to do B. And then I'm doing a small p and then Atom, because that'll, let's see, BP, sorry, we do Atom. So that way it'll automatically space between large characters and small ones. So, and we're going to do that for the rest. Compile, save. Now we're going to need to get the game instance. So we're going to type in get game instance. And from the game instance, we're going to grab a piece of, we're going to grab the actual, we're going to cast to the game instance that we made earlier. So we're going to drag over here and type in cast to my01, my game instance. Okay. And we're going to hook that up. While we're at it, we're going to, while that's highlighted, Control C, And then we're going to add that. Control V. Connect it up. Okay, and we got to connect. Now we've got to connect the game instance to this here. Okay, and just to neaten this up, we can just double click and do one of these reroute nodes. Okay. Make it nice and neat. So that way if we have to troubleshoot later, we can do that. And then we can even do this one. Okay. Now we're going to have to pull that variable, the character one we got from our game instance. So we're going to go here, type in char. See. We're going to set the character. Okay. We're going to do that for all of them. So we can just Control C this one and do the same thing like before, Control V. Control V. Control V. Okay, now we need to connect these up. And don't forget, we gotta connect the characters up. And we're gonna compile and save. Now, next we're gonna need to do a open level. So we're gonna drag off of here so we can send our characters to a level. So it's open level by name. And we're gonna connect all these up. Oh, let's see. There we go. And then the level we're gonna open up is gonna be the third person map. Compile and save. Okay, now that that's done, we're gonna go back to our main level tab. Scroll out, and we're gonna see, I'm gonna undock that. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna need to open up the level blueprint. So it should be located right here. Go to Open Level Blueprint, and we gotta start with some code here. We won't need this tick, so we can delete that. But what we're gonna need to do is off this event begin play, we're gonna drag off of here, and we're gonna create widget. Okay. Then we're going to select the widget we're going to create, which is going to be WB character selector. And then from here, we're going to add it to our viewport. Add to the viewport. And then we're going to need to make it to where we can see the mouse. So we're going to have to get our player controller. So we can get player controller. And we're going to drag off of here. And we're going to do a show mouse cursor. We're going to do the set. And we're going to connect this up. Oh, let me see, connect that up. And then check true so we can see our mouse cursor. Click select or complete and then save. And then while we're here, we can just go ahead and do a save all. That's going to be important. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to have to put one more piece of code in our level that we're spawning into. So we're going to select this right here. Go up to File. And then go to Recent Levels. Okay, so we go to, Open Level. Open up level, and we're going to do our third person map. And if you can't find it, it's in the content folder in the third person under right here. Third person map. Open that up. And we need to do the same exact thing, but we need to add code to the level of blueprint. So right here and open here. Now, right here, we're going to do an event begin, play. Let's see, just type begin. Yeah, we want to grab this one here, the event begin play. Get player controller. And then we're going to set input. Set input. And that's going to be game mode only. Connect it. Now we're going to need our game instance, so we can carry the character's variable over. Game. So we're going to get the game instance. Cast to game. We're going to do the one we have here, which is cast to my #1 game instance. Connect it. And then from there, we can grab our character variable. And from here, we're going to need to spawn the actor. So we're going to see. I guess we can we could pull it from here possibly. Spawn. Yeah, we're going to do spawn actor from class. We'll connect that up. And we're going to drag off of the transform, and we're going to promote to a variable. And this is going to be where the character spawns in at. And to simply fix this, we're going to need to do a compile and save. And when we do that, it gives us the transform. And all we need is the location. So to grab a location, we're just going to grab it from the start, from the third person map. So if you look right here, we've got the start right here. And we've got it highlighted. And we're going to go to where the location is. And the location is right here. So all we want to do is we want to right click. And we're going to copy that, okay? And we can go back here, see, to the third person level, and we're going to paste it right here. Okay, so now we've got that. Compile and save. All right, so now we've got the character spawning in at this location where the start is. And then right here, this is important. We're going to need to do a delay because we're going to spawn and then we're going to possess the actor. So we want to give it some time to do so. So we're going to type a delay. Okay. And 2/10 of a second is fine. It'll definitely work. And then we're going to get the player controller again. Get the player controller. And we're going to drag off of here. And we're going to need the possesses node. So possesses. And we're going to connect that up. And then for the possesses, we're going to need to put on the return value. So that way we can spawn in what we got from over here. Okay. Compile, save, and then save all. And then we can go back to our map. And then from here, that should conclude everything. So we're going to have to open up our main menu level, which is right here. Open it. And then we can just see, we can just go ahead and hit play. There we go. As you can see, we've got our characters, we've got our quit, so we can test the quit out first. As you can see, it's normal, and then it's yellow, and then we hit that, and it quits. Okay, before we actually can open up something I closely forgot, is we're going to need to, well, we can delete the start in the third person character map. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to go to the edit and to the project settings, okay? We're going to go to maps and modes. And right here at the bottom where it says game instance, we have to use our custom game instance. Otherwise, the actual variable won't transfer over. And then while we're here, as a bonus, we can start our editor. Instead of in the third person map, we can start it with the level, with the main menu level. And then we're going to hit save all. Go back here, and then we're going to go to the file, open the recent level. We're going to go to the main menu level. Okay, now we're all set and we're ready to test out our menu. So go up here to the left corner, select play, and we can pick our characters. We're going to start with, let's start with Eve. And now we've selected our character. And then we can hit escape. We can do that with all the characters. All of them working for different characters. Hit play again. We'll go ahead and do them all. One more time. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you found this useful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.